Drought conditions continue to impact the eastern end of the island, but while parishes to the northwest are not having that issue, there are still complaints of low or no water in some areas. Head of the National Water Commission NWC, Mark Barnett, explained the challenges in that end of the island.
Dried rivers in eastern parishes, including Portland and St. Mary. But at the same time, an abundance of water on the north coast from St. Ann to Westmoreland. In spite of this, there are some communities in the west, particularly in hilly areas, that are thirsting for water. President of the NWC, Mark Barnett, says they are aware of the issue, and so greater focus has been put on distribution. The Great River and the Martha Brae River have been expanded.
Martha Brae now moves water either side, meaning it goes to the east, all the way up to Runaway Bay, and to the west, all the way down to St. James. And St. James move water all the way to Lucy. So we believe we have adequate amount of resource as it relates to those larger facilities, not to ignore, but we also have a number of wells that we still utilize to augment and to complement the available resources that we distribute.
But even with those expansions, pipes in other areas are still dry. Mr. Barnett blames that on non-revenue water, which is still a pressing concern. Loss reduction efforts have been bolstered, with a recent project in St. James reducing losses from a high of 70 down to 50%.
We are now looking to do a similar arrangement, taking into consideration Montego Bay all the way up to Ocho. Currently, we're looking to pursue that on a public-private partnership arrangement, and we are now just about doing the business case to do that. We expect to go out to market later on this year or early next year.
As for the water issues in the hilly areas, he says a system upgrade is needed. But there is another issue.
We are not immune to a lot of unauthorized access to those who believe they should operate their own distribution network. And so that will impact those who are at the high elevation. So it always becomes a case of us to and fro in to get people off the system to ensure that the water can go to where it should be.
Several months ago, plans were announced to bolster the logwood supply, which runs low periodically. Mr. Barnett says those plans are almost complete.
As a more reliable source. And so we are now in the process of finalizing the details for that, so we can identify the suitable engineering entity, development entity that will do that work. So it is still on the cards, and hopefully we can get something started early next year.
Mr. Barnett was speaking with journalists at a recent function in St. James. Herman Green, TVJ News.